Are we going to ask the Windsors what's going on there? Are they offsetting their carbon footprint?
Do you work for Ellen? Do you work for Meghan Markle?
No, I don't. But what I
Okay.
am is a journalist and I'm fair and I like unbiased reporting. So that's what I base my reporting on.
Imagine you're on live television, trying to stir some controversy. Suddenly your guest flips the script and leaves you speechless. Today, we're talking about a recent incident on GB News. Picture this: an on-air host, angling for some negative chatter about Meghan Markle, thinking he's about to serve a hot dish of controversy. The stage was set, with the presenter ready to orchestrate a smear campaign, the perfect scandalous symphony. But
after more than a year of waiting and a complete rebranding, Meghan Markle's as ever raspberry spread has finally arrived. But is the Duchess' notorious berry mixture truly everything she has said it is? Potentially, she should focus on a fresh formula. When the priceless jars were launched on Wednesday, they sold out in a matter of minutes. However, for the first public review, Source was able to obtain the $14 raspberry spread,
she was invited as a guest on GB News.
The unveiling of the desert, which Meghan has cheesily referred to as her jam numerous times, has generated a lot of excitement because last year, she delivered 50 jars to well-known friends like Kris Jenner under the company's previous moniker, American Riviera Orchard. The company says that the raspberry fruit spread is inspired by the recipe Meghan crafted in her home kitchen. But don't be fooled by the name change. In a recent episode of her Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, the Duchess clarified that her preserves aren't exactly jam because jam is equal parts.
A live television broadcast, a GB News presenter eager to fuel the anti-Meghan narrative, and Ellen Coughlin, a guest with a different plan. The presenter, in his usual style, makes his move, attempting to lure Ellen into his Meghan Markle smear campaign. But Ellen is no stranger to the game. She's calm, collected, and armed with facts. Rather than succumbing to the presenter's bait, she chooses to take a different route. She begins to counter his attempts with her own facts, each one a pointed rebuttal to his baseless accusations. You could almost hear the collective gasp of the viewers as she calmly dismantles each argument, with every word she utters serving as a reality check for the presenter. And the presenter? Well, he's caught off guard. He's not used to this. He's used to guests who echo his sentiments, who add fuel to his fire. But here's Ellen, dousing the flames with truth and reason. The realization slowly dawns on him that his usual tactics won't work here. You can almost see the gears turning in his head as he tries to regain control of the conversation. But Ellen, she's relentless. She's not here to dance to his tunes. She's here to play her own melody, a melody composed of truth, integrity, and respect. And it's a beautiful melody, one that resonates with the viewers, one that leaves the presenter speechless. And the presenter's reaction? Well, it was something to behold. He resorts to a desperate comeback, asking Ellen if she's working for Meghan. It's a weak attempt to regain some semblance of control, a final, futile effort to steer the narrative back to his favour. But it's too late. Ellen has already won. She's won with her grace, her class, and most importantly, her truth. So, what happens when your plan backfires on live television? Well, dear friends, you're about to find out. Picture this: a GB News presenter, all prim and ready to unleash his latest smear campaign against Meghan Markle. His guest, the unflappable Ellen Coughlin, his plan to bait Ellen into joining his little hate fest. But as we've seen, Ellen was a woman of facts and integrity, not one to be led into a baseless campaign. Now here's where it gets juicy. The presenter, upon realising that his plan is not only failing but faltering spectacularly, resorts to a desperate line. Can you guess what he said? He asked Ellen, "Are you working for Meghan?" Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right. That was his comeback, his last-ditch effort to regain control of a situation rapidly spiralling out of his grasp. It's one thing to be caught off guard, but to resort to such a desperate accusation, it's almost laughable. You see, desperation has a funny way of revealing itself. In the presenter's case, it was a brazen question, a clear sign of his losing battle. It was as if he was so shocked, so thrown off balance by Ellen's calm, fact-filled responses, that he could only resort to conspiracy theories. And the best part? The presenter's hope for a Meghan basher didn't just evaporate, it turned into visible frustration. You could almost see the gears grinding to a halt in his mind, the realization dawning that he had met a formidable opponent in Ellen. His face said it all. The frustration, the disbelief, the realization that his smear campaign was not going to get any traction, at least not with Ellen. A perfect example of what happens when ill-prepared meets well-informed. So, what's the takeaway here? Maybe it's that facts always triumph over smear campaigns. Maybe it's that integrity can't be baited. Or maybe, just maybe, it's that smugness has no place in intelligent discourse. His hope for a Meghan basher turned into a visible frustration. It's not every day that a news presenter is left speechless. In the aftermath of this unforgettable encounter, the public's reaction was nothing short of spectacular. Social media was abuzz with comments, tweets and shares, rapidly turning this incident into a viral sensation. The consensus? A resounding applause for Ellen Coughlin's unwavering grace and composure under fire. Ellen, with her calm demeanour and well-articulated points, was praised for not succumbing to the bait. She didn't just refuse to participate in the smear campaign, she took it a step further, challenging the presenter with factual information. Her performance was a masterclass in maintaining integrity in the face of hostility. On the other hand, the presenter's lack of preparation became glaringly obvious. His attempt to provoke a Meghan bashing session fell flat, and his subsequent outburst was viewed as a desperate move rather than a seasoned professional's response. It was clear that he had underestimated his guest. This incident served as a stark reminder that in this era of live television, a lack of preparation can lead to public humiliation. The aftermath of this encounter was a wake-up call for GB News. The incident highlighted a need for more responsible journalism that prioritizes facts over sensationalism. It underscored the importance of treating guests with respect, regardless of their viewpoints. Most importantly, it served as a reminder that the public is intelligent, discerning, and will not stand for baseless smear campaigns. In the end, what was meant to be a baiting session turned into a moment of triumph for unbiased reporting and fact-based discussions. It was a win for integrity, for truth, and for the refusal to be part of a narrative that promotes hate. So GB News, as you pick up the pieces from this unforgettable episode, remember this: the public expects more than just titillating headlines and controversial discussions. They want facts. They want respectful dialogues. They want responsible journalism. GB News, it's time to bring some facts to the table. So what can we learn from this incident? The clash between a GB News presenter and Ellen Coughlin is a clear reminder of how essential fact-based journalism truly is. In an era where information is at our fingertips, we must ensure that we are not just consuming, but critically engaging with what we're fed. This incident underscores the importance of maintaining a healthy skepticism, especially when it comes to news media. The dangers of smear campaigns cannot be overstated. They are designed to undermine, to distort, and to cause harm. They manipulate public opinion, exploiting our emotions and pushing us to form judgments based on half-truths and outright lies. Smear campaigns are not about dialogue or understanding. They are about painting a picture that suits a particular narrative. Yet, in the face of such tactics, Ellen Coughlin stood her ground. She refused to be drawn into a game of character assassination. Instead, she chose the path of truth, countering each misguided statement with fact. She didn't echo the presenter's hateful rhetoric, nor did she allow him to twist her words. Her actions remind us that integrity is not about being popular or saying what people want to hear. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's not the easy thing to do. Ellen's intelligence shone through in this incident. She didn't just know her facts, she understood them. She was able to articulate her points clearly and concisely, never losing her cool. She demonstrated that intelligence is not just about knowledge, but also about the ability to think critically, to question, and to engage in meaningful dialogue. Let this incident serve as a lesson to us all. It's a call to action, urging us to demand better from our news outlets. It's a reminder to stand up against smear campaigns and to value integrity over sensationalism. It's an invitation to be more like Ellen, to be informed, to be critical, and to be steadfast in our pursuit of the truth. And remember, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more real talk. Until next time, keep your facts ready and your mind open.